Welcome to this screencast. We are looking into functions as an introduction for your GCSE in computer science. We are going to use this mathematical equation as an example and to link this new topic, functions, to something you already know. What do you remember about variables? Anyone remember something about variables? What's a variable? Yes, please.
A value in the code that you can store and change later.
So it's a value. What I'm really interested for today is you can reuse your variable later in the code. Excellent. And there's something else about a variable. Yes, at the back?
You can choose the name.
You choose its name. You choose its name. So it's one of these where you as the coder can do something, especially if you give it a name that's really meaningful, so that when you read the code and you read the name of a variable, you instantly know, you remember what it is that variable does. So we're going to apply this to functions today. I'm going to move this out of this space. So what's the name you call that equation in maths again? What's the name you call that equation we've just done? Yes, please?
Linear equation.
Okay, so the name of my function will be linear equation or solution. I'm going to calculate it. So let's call it solution. It must be one single word, so I can't have a space. So there's two possible things you do when you name something in your code to avoid a space, and that can be underscore or capital letters or both. Linear solution. All right, so that's my name. Now I need some keywords which will depend on different programming language. I know some of you have already dabbled with functions in Python. What's a keyword I need to put there? Please? Def in Python. Other programming language will have something different. I'm going to run out of space here. So after my def, a function, whether you use parameters or not, you need some brackets and you need the colon in Python. So I'm going to use two parameters, and we've already done it before the video. So the solution is going to be, so let's say our variable, we're going to store it into a variable x. Our solution is going to be minus b over a. Now, that's all very pretty, but where does this b and a come from? Where do b and a come from in my function? I did give you a clue when I said they're parameters. Over there, please.
Would they be inside the brackets?
They are inside the brackets. So a, b. There's my x, and then now I need to return the results to the code that has called the function somewhere else in the program. There's a keyword for that. Anybody knows the keyword? Yes, please? Return. And what I return is x. Now we're nearly finished with this. There's a couple of very important things I need to point to you. The computer must know what line of codes belong to this function. In Python, we do that with indents. Other programming languages may use curly brace for the purpose of notifying to the program what belongs to the function, what is no longer the function. Another thing we need to talk about, and this is an important keyword, it's the scope of your variables. So here, in this example, and I did it on purpose, I have created this variable x, but this variable x being created inside my function linear solution, it only exists inside the function. So that variable there, that name x, somewhere else in the program, if you use x, I don't know, for some coordinates on the screen, that's possible because this x only exists in these two lines of code. It does not exist outside of a function. Other names I need to point to you are those two names here. These are the names of a parameter, and again, they only exist inside the function. So in this case here, I've used standard parameter names you use in maths when you write this equation. And because I only have 2 lines of code, we can see immediately that this A is there, this B is there, and that's it. They don't exist somewhere else because it's reduced to only those 3 lines of code. So to recap, this is a key skill in GCSE programming. As the coder, you choose the name of your function, similar than you choose the name of your variable. Another similarity between function and variable is that their purpose is to be reused later in the program, but a function, it's code. You define it somewhere. You can even define it into a separate file, a module, and you reuse it later in your code. Thank you for your participation. I look forward to seeing your work in our lessons.